who's as adamant about his or her position as I am about mine, whom you think is sharp. Seriously, we know that. And another thing, we heard him say that... Hey sports fans, Larry Elder here. Welcome to another edition of And Another Thing. This is edition number 104, believe it or not. If you'd like to be an Eldorado, go to LarryElder.com, fill out the form. You're going to get a free copy of Michael and Me. That is my award-winning feature-length documentary where I explore the history of the Second Amendment and where, believe it or not, I confront, ambush Michael Moore the way he did other people like Charlton Heston. And I asked Mr. Moore 3 times, how many times do Americans use firearms to prevent loss of life? How many times do Americans use firearms for defensive purposes? We know how often Americans use firearms to kill people because you tell us that. But how often do Americans use guns to defend themselves? That's what Michael and Me is all about. Check it out, LarryElder.com. Episode number 104 of And Another Thing. As you well know, we've had a couple of cases, Ferguson and Staten Island in New York, where black people, unarmed black people, were killed by the police. Therefore, the activists tell us the black man is under attack by out-of-control police officers. After the George Zimmerman verdict, Jesse Jackson said, black people are under attack. Hold the phone. You're telling me that young black men are under attack by the police. You said this in 1930, 1920, 1950, 1960, maybe you got something. But in 2014, really, where a lot of large cities like Los Angeles have had black police chiefs, and in Los Angeles, the average street cop, the kind of cop you're likely to confront on the street, is a female or a person of color. This is not your grandfather's police department. We had back-to-back black police chiefs here in LA, and there was a black police chief named Willie Williams who presided over LAPD during the O.J. Simpson case. Recall that several of the criminologists and detectives and investigators were accused of planting evidence. So Willie Williams did a top-down departmental review to find out if there's any suggestion of evidence that any of his officers did anything like that. He found out they didn't. Nobody cared. The black people who thought O.J. Simpson was innocent still thought he was innocent. They didn't give a damn what Willie Williams said. Now, I say this because a lot of people suggest that the problem with Ferguson is that the police don't look like the city. The city's 2/3 black. The police is mostly white. There are 3 black police officers. Didn't Martin Luther King tell us to evaluate people based upon the content of their character, not the color of their skin? Are we to assume just because an officer is white and he's patrolling a black area, he doesn't care, he sees the people there as subhuman? Is that fair? Or should we do these things on a case-by-case basis? Last year, 7,000 black people were killed, mostly by other black people. That's almost 20 a day. Supposedly, a person is killed by the police every day. I don't know about those numbers. I can tell you this, in 2010, 140 black people were killed by cops. In that same year, 386 white people were killed by cops. So are white people under attack? It's ridiculous. And when you look at the homicide rates, you're talking about a percentage of the population, black people, 13%, that commit almost half the homicides. And considering most of these homicides are male-to-male homicides, you're talking about roughly a population of about 6% of the people committing about half the crimes. That is why the police are patrolling these areas. Now, if you don't want crime to go down, tell the police to be passive. Tell them not to be proactive. Tell them not to go after people like Michael Brown, who's walking in the middle of the street, or like Eric Gardner, who was illegally selling cigarettes. Tell them to ignore these kinds of low-level life quality crimes, and you're going to have a greater increase of crime. Let's talk about the evidence real quickly. In the case of... Hey Eldorados, hope you enjoyed that short preview. If you'd like to become a complete full Eldorado, go to LarryElder.com, fill out the form, you get a free copy of Michael and Me, a documentary that I did where I explore the history of the Second Amendment and where I ambush Michael Moore, and I asked the gentleman 3 times how many times Americans use guns to defend themselves. LarryElder.com, check it out.